we look, Sean?
We're in finishing school.
How do we look? Do we look all right?
God.
We're,
I think we
we're
look
ready
sharp.
to
We're ready to
film
rock and roll.
it. We're ready to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is all on the record.
It's with Chris. It's cool. It's family at this point, right?
We love it.
And
We
Well,
always
it's
love
good
it.
to see you, man.
I know, it's great to
Decade
see you.
plus of,
Over 10 years.
of hanging out with you.
Yeah.
A lot happened. A lot definitely happened.
You've done some
these
really
years.
cool stuff.
Yeah,
over
we're
the
doing
past
some
few
really,
years.
we're doing some really fun stuff. But I mean, hey, you guys too, right? You guys too. A lot of great stuff.
A lot of growth, which is good.
A lot of
which is good.
stories.
A lot of
And that's
stories.
why we're here. RSA Conference 2025.
I know. We're in San Francisco. We have to travel to see you sometimes. It's all good. We didn't catch you in Florida. Somehow that
No,
didn't.
I know.
We'll
But it's a good
make
road
that
trip
happen.
for you.
It is.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it was a
good.
fun road trip. He picked me up on the side. Side of the road.
I saw that.
Not to go to Florida, though.
Yeah, no, not the Florida one.
Not that
Not
far.
the Florida one.
Road trip here. Road trip here.
Well, but we're here.
And it's Tuesday. We get to see you, Chris, to start the day off. So it's a fantastic start to the day. I would imagine a lot of our followers who follow us generally know of BlackCloak and know of you, but hopefully there's some new folks joining us today. So quick word about some of the things you've done leading up to BlackCloak, and then we'll get into what's going on with BlackCloak today.
Yeah, I mean, BlackCloak is digital executive protection, right? So we're protecting corporate executives, boards, the C-suite, right? Those persons and their family members in their personal lives. This all came from that realization back when I was a CISO. I was 2-time CISO and trying to protect, right, my VCs, my board members, my executives, and yeah, I can protect them in the inside 4 walls of the company, but I just, the phone calls coming in from hey, my husband or my wife clicked on this. Hey, is our home network secure? Hey, what do we do with the kids? Hey, identity theft, right? All these things kept on just intruding upon the inner workings of the company. But when you thought about it from a risk perspective, I'm responsible for that, right? If they get popped in their personal life, if it causes some type of reputational risk or harm or financial risk or harm, or credentials are stolen, or their work computers are on a bad, dirty home network, it's my problem. And so how do you think about expanding, right, that cloak of protection outside the 4 walls of the company so that you actually protect them in their personal life? And it really was a culmination of the many years as outside counsel, many years in a DHS, many years as a CISO and as a chief privacy officer. How do you also do this in a privacy-friendly way and privacy-forward way? And that led us to the BlackCloak solution and the platform, what we built.
And that's the key, the concierge. I always go back there.
It's got to be.
Because you have to know how to deal with the C-suite and their family, their lifestyle. So you become the concierge. Do you need anything? Here I am. For security, of course.
And it has to be that, right? You can't just put technology in someone's house or technologies in someone's hand and assume or presume that things are going to get done, right? Cybersecurity is
That's
tough.
the problem in the first place.
Well, it is. It is. The number of devices that are just even IoT devices at home that have dual factor on them, right? They're many. Is it turned on? Right? Do people understand that and all the rest? And so what we really have to do is break through that technology layer. It's like private wealth management, right? You need a guide to help you through trust and estate planning, tax planning, preparation planning there. And the same way on the cybersecurity side, you need a trusted guide. You need a partner there to be able to do that. And
If you want effective outcomes and efficient outcomes, you want a guide.
Absolutely.
And also something that embrace your home, your family,
Personal.
which is kind of what you talked about here at RSA, right? You had a session.
It is. On Monday, it was great. RSA asked to, a few years ago, they did a mental health preparedness, like how do we think about the CISO and people in cyber and privacy and compliance, and just all of the stresses and pressures, and how do we help make the CISO and the person part of the cybersecurity professional, more whole, more safe, more secure, emotionally and all the rest, and mentally. And this year, RSA asked, hey, we want to kick off a series. We want you to kick off this 5-part series on how do we think about protecting you and your family in their personal life, right? And how do we think about understanding what those risks are? How do you think about protecting mom and dad, your brothers, sisters, and your kids, and bringing something back from RSA that is not hey, we have the next new generation firewall, we have the next, agentic AI mixed into an IDS solution, but actually bringing something back to help you personally, where it matters, that home. And so I kicked off a series on Monday morning. It was great, 8:30 in the morning, but man, that thing was packed.
Really?
Yeah, we did,
That's
we had
nice.
great fun. And it really was focused in on how do you think about protecting your own personal privacy, right? Shrink the attack surface. How do you think about protecting your identity, your accounts and devices, your kids, the elderly? How do you think about, right, protecting against scams? Right, that's going to get through any piece of technology if you cause that mental mind map to, right, shift over. And so we're able to really kick things off in a great way where it was I was super proud of all the other presenters that went that day, really did some deep dives. They kind of gave a big overview as to what we wanted to tackle. But everyone left with something, and they're all going to be able to bring it back home and help make their homes and their families' homes a much better and safer place. And
Was that a Chatham House Rules?
No, that one
was
it's
it-
actually recorded. That one's
Okay.
recorded. The one tomorrow is going to be Chatham House
That's right,
Rule.
okay.
So it'll be a 2-hour learning lab on supply chain risks, and we're going to get into it there. But this one is it's out there, it's taped,
Okay.
it's recorded. All the rest, everyone should be able to, and I hope they do.
We'll put a link to it.
Yeah, be great. Yeah.
So what was some of the feedback? I'm sure you got some Q&A, perhaps during, certainly after. I know when you have a good presentation, people rush the stage after to say, that was great, or what about this, or what about that? So what was some of the feedback you got?
It was interesting. There were definitely questions around, right, data brokers and, right, how your information is out there and how to remove it and how really to tackle that. We just keep on going around and around on that. As you guys know, you're well-traveled, spent a lot of time in Europe, and Europe just has a totally different view on this, right? Privacy is a fundamental human right. You don't have to ask for your personal information to be removed. It just isn't out there.
Right.
And we, the United States, take a little more of a hands-off view, let's just say, and it's out there, and you have to beg and plead for it to be removed. So that was a good discussion area. Actually, surprisingly, still identity theft, right? Even though you can put a credit freeze on Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, and literally turn off, freeze your credit. What was this? 2003 was the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act, FACTA, which is the law that allowed for one free credit report and for freezes to exist. So we're some 22 years in, and people are still asking questions, which is great. It was what the whole day was about, meant to be about. But asking about what's the difference between a freeze and a lock, and how do you think about this, and a whole bunch of misnomers. I think there's a lot more there that the community can do overall to actually make sure people understand this is a real viable solution for you and your loved ones. It's simple. When are you just, I think I'm going to go buy a new car today, and you're just randomly doing it, and you need access to credit. I don't know, right? You're probably like, once a day, you're like, hey, I need to go get a new Lamborghini. I need the, right, But other than that, it just doesn't happen. And even if it does, you ask the person, hey, when they're running credit, hey, which one do you use? Oh, we use TransUnion. Great. You go to your TransUnion, you go click unfreeze, you unfreeze for one day, and you're good to go. So there was a good context.
You have to do that a day before the...
You can do it a day. You can do it a day
The
before,
same day?
but
Okay.
you can do it same day. You can literally do it while they're there. You wait about 5 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, whatever, and it runs. So there's some good questioning there around that, and then some good questioning around, kind of my overall stance on let's not boil the ocean. We CISOs, and me in my prior life as a CISO, I'm guilty of this too. It's like we want everyone to do what is perfect, and so we're like, all your passwords have to be in an encrypted password vault. Everything has to have dual factor. No, let's actually change the operating context. Let's do the top 12 passwords, make sure they're secure in an encrypted password vault and totally unique. Those 12 websites, let's make sure they have dual factor on it. The ones that are going to have you have a really bad year. Your UnderArmour.com account, if it gets popped, right, and they know what size, T-shirt you're wearing or whatever, it's not, right? It's just not the same level as your Gmail getting popped in your personal life. And so let's focus all our efforts on that, or your AT&T bill, or your bank account, as opposed to, Hulu.com and all the rest of these.
You know what I love about this? And it's very much like an organization, right? An organization looks at the risk profile that they have, and hopefully build programs around mitigating the highest exposure areas with the best controls. So personally, so to do that, you actually have to think about what's important to you, not just blanket do a bunch of stuff and never get to the end of the list because it's too many.
Well, and look, we're human, and cybersecurity professionals are under a lot of stress and pressure to make sure that they have plans and programs that are fully comprehensive. And so we say the 200 things because we don't want to miss item number 199 and not have it be in there. But as a result, sometimes from a business perspective, we can be turned off.
Right.
And so what we want to do is let's focus time and energy there. Really focus time and energy there. And BlackCloak's helping in that regard, right? We're trying to push people towards, like in terms of digital executive protection, push people towards meaningful opportunities, meaningful frameworks where we're giving them advice and guidance on where to focus time and energy on things that will be the most fruitful for them.
I want to get to the framework. Let me ask you this, though. Do you see, because we're talking about outside of the four walls, at home with the family, does that mean executives need to take their personal time to do this? Or do you see organizations actually saying, perhaps with your support and technology and framework and team, say, we're gonna obviously executives are doing a bunch of things, but we're gonna allocate time and support you in this. You don't have to go off at home and do it on your own.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, it's pretty simple. The CISO, the CSO, the head of threat intelligence, the SOC director and stuff, they don't want to be involved in this.
Right.
Privacy and legal reasons. They don't want to be involved in it from a time perspective.
Yep.
And what they want is someone that is absolutely trusted with that platform, with that expertise, with that depth of knowledge to actually handle it for them. It's the same way as it's the same way as this. It's like, General Electric doesn't have their own team of doctors and nurses and physicians and x-ray equipment. They've partnered
They have HR
with,
professionals that give you a plan.
benefits and they get the insurance. But and it's the same, very much the same way. Same way on physical security and executive protection on physical side. Same with kidnap and ransom, air medical transport, and just basic healthcare. They've selected the United Healthcare Group. They've selected Mayo Clinic for the executives. They've gone with the professionals, and that's where they shepherd people. It's the same way in terms of digital executive protection. Folks choose BlackCloak because that's what we do. It's the entire remit of what we do. And we only operate outside the four walls of the environment.
So let's talk about the priority and things that every time we talk to you, you give us kind of like the hottest, meaning the riskiest thing going on nowadays. So the numbers, what does it say, and how, what are those 10 website in terms of actions that you need to take when you start working with someone?
Yeah, so what we've done is we've solidified things together in terms of a usable framework, right? Looking at like NIST 853 and looking at other frameworks. What I want to do is create something that is absolutely, bleeding edge in the industry. The first digital executive protection framework that is out there. And we want it to be comprehensive, not for us, just a 100%, this is everything you should be thinking about. You should be thinking about privacy and shrinking that attack surface. You should be thinking about cybersecurity and identity theft and family members and financial accounts. You should be thinking about social media and social monitoring and social listening. You should be thinking about brand. You should be thinking about a whole host of items there. So what we developed was this framework. It's got 14 tenets to it. Each have between 10 to 20 action items of, you can literally take this. So we'll be releasing a tool that you can actually just go ahead and check mark where you are on the maturity scale. You fill it out yourself.
Do a little bit at a time.
Well, yeah. Well, you fill it out yourself in terms of where you think you currently are. In some programs, to give you an example, brand monitoring. So Coca-Cola. They're all over brand monitoring, right? All over that, right? They got the polar bear all set. They got the Coke bottle all set. They got all the trademarks all set. Yeah, yes, even Santa. But I mean, they have everything done. The General Counsel's office has that done. Their intellectual property attorneys. The CISO, they're monitoring for other domain names and brand infringement there, and all the rest in marketing.
They have a known set of actions to respond.
Most people, it's going to be a check. We've got things in place. When you take a look and you say, hey, do we know that our corporate executives, their personal financial accounts, are actually being taken care of and protected so they're not going to have any theft on them, they're not going to have a wire fraud, they're not going to have whatever? It's like, we don't know. Right, well, that might be a hole or an area of opportunity. Or, hey, we go ahead and monitor. We always hear this. Well, just one, it's like, you have top 5 providers maybe for deep web, dark web, threat intelligence, and they're pointed at the inside of the company, Coca-Cola.com. But what about the personal life, and what do you do about that? Now, a company can't get that information because it tells things about them, what things they belong to. But then what, right? Who's going to go do a password reset on the Schwab account? Who's going to go ahead and put dual factor on the Schwab account? Who's going to go ahead and get that Schwab password into an encrypted password vault that you actually have to have somebody install on all the devices and spread throughout the family? And those are the things and the questions where we want people to start thinking about that. We want people to chart that path. I mean, after after the United Healthcare, killing of Brian Thompson, there's this convergence of physical security and cybersecurity together. The framework actually involves that as well and brings that together as well. So there's something for everyone in this framework, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's really a roadmap.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And so on the digital and physical, can you give us an example of the physical part of it? Is it the home environment? I mean, I'm thinking back to my CISSP test days where do you have lighting on the house or not?
Yeah, you remember the core, what was the core bodies of knowledge area? Yeah. So on the physical side, it's the home security in terms of, proper lighting, shrubs and all the rest. It's, how windows and how those are. Do you have the right proper locks and doors and mechanisms, video surveillance? How do you think about that home overall? How do you think about, different barriers and entry points there for many of our executives, right? They have safe rooms, they have hold-up alarms, other things in their homes. So it's really thinking about that and thinking about, how do you go ahead and then partner with other physical security leaders there. For the physical side, it also, it's now transcended into physical persona. So
travel as well? Yeah.
Travel is huge, right? Everything's wide open. So where are you going? How are you being? All the rest. It's into your identity. It's into your face. It's into your voice. It's into. It's into all of those different things.
And we were chatting before we started recording about how impersonation, it's the big thing right now.
Yeah, let's go there.
Yeah, this is.
Are we real? That's the question.
It's AI. AI every day does something that I didn't think it was possible the day before. Videos, just fantastic, like entire advertisement made on AI platforms.
Yeah, it is. You think about like 2017 or whatever. It's like George Lucas. They're done with work or whatever, and for a few months after work, they have like 300 servers, and they take Tom Cruise's face off of him in Mission Impossible and put Brad Pitt's face on. Right, we've both seen those things. It's like 30-second video, but it was like 300 supercomputers churning and burning electric bills and stuff like that. And it looked great, right? It looked great, it was wonderful. But it's like now anyone with you can do it on your phone, but you do it on a Chromebook, where you basically just, here you go, here's 20 seconds of audio, 5 seconds of audio, here's a static picture. And what's great about executives, you guys
high-res.
The high-res images that are on every single website.
Or a webcast or a podcast or an interview,
the SEC recordings when they're doing their quarterly recordings and stuff, you have pristine audio. You have them on the Market Watch on the Schwab network on NASDAQ, and so you have video and audio. You have the high-res, glam shots going on, and you mix all that in together. And we just had Larry Ponemon, Dr. Larry Ponemon, head of the Ponemon Institute, and as you know, right, they lead cybersecurity and privacy research firm out there. They just just had a report commissioned. 586 CISOs, directors of information security, surveyed. 42% of them, 42% say that their executives have already been attacked and targeted with a deepfake in the past year. 42%. And what's even crazier is this, and the survey was in February. This year, 53% of them, this is number one. This is on that top list of things that they have to solve because the technology is happening so quick, the amount of noise on it happening so quick, and we've had real harm. We had that one bank, and it was a Japanese bank, that had $25 million because they thought it was the CEO appearing on video. We gotta solve this. Gotta solve this. And we have to stop chasing. A lot of different products out there that are trying to, hey, we integrate with Zoom, we integrate with Teams, we integrate with, want to think about this a little bit differently, rather than lots of ways that this will be addressed. But you can't say, let's watermark all videos and all, like, this is kind of, we're chasing our tail. You can't just say, hey, let's
there's
go.
legacy stuff as well. So.
Well, exactly. How are you going to get rid of all the past videos and all?
Well, of course, those only last as long. Boy, Jim looks really young all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So you do have that, but.
Yeah.
Oh, like you can make somebody age with AI?
I know.
That's true. Yeah. Well, there you go. You can feed in the. But it's one of those things where, look, the bottom line is you have to have something that is omnipresent, whether it's for a Zoom meeting, a team meeting, a phone call, an SMS, a text, a WhatsApp, a signal message, whatever. It doesn't matter. You have to have something where you can actually have board members saying, hey, is everybody as part of the board actually here, even if you have people remotely,
Right.
where executives can verify themselves in sensitive conversations, where executives can verify their family members and family members, right, with the scourge of virtual kidnapping and risk. And so BlackCloak took on that challenge about 2 years ago. We saw this coming and just pushed out to market its identity verification platform, which allows for executives that are at the same company on that same trusted network and others, as well as their family members, whoever's in their circle. It could be their private wealth advisor, their lawyer, their accountant, their priest, whatever it is, right? Whoever it is that they want to make sure when they're having a conversation with them, they're able to verify their authenticity and their identity in live, real time, regardless of the mode of
I was just
communication.
thinking like a 2FA or multi-factor on that. It's kind of like, hey mom, if somebody calls you and pretend to be me, maybe you want to call me back.
Yeah.
You know, if he's weird, maybe he's weird.
Well, and that's exactly the thing. That you know, in the very situation, you're calling mom, and she's like, you know, whatever, can't hear you. You know, if you open up the identity verification system, you open up yours. She goes, hey, I'm on the phone with you. Sends it off to you. You say yes, that is me, and now you know, right? Now you absolutely know
Who is who?
Who's who. And so we're super excited. I mean, look, the cyber criminals keep on making advances. RSA is all about solving the next layer of threats, and staying ahead. And so we're excited about this.
It's a never-ending battle, but it's good to have a partner like BlackCloak that can think for you.
Right. Thinking ahead. I mean, you've been working on this for a while. Which is
So just to hand up, like how easy it is for anybody listening right now that it's working as responsible for the C-level, the C-suite, and say, hey, we do need this. What do we do?
I mean, pretty simple. You know, reach out to us, our team at blackcloak.io, and there's lots of different ways to get started, right? You can get started with executive threat assessment, where we can show you the risk that your executives currently have and hold. You can get, you know, kind of a curated walkthrough of the digital executive protection framework and bring it back and self-assess yourself and let us know where you want us to help as a partner in that journey. And of course, seeing the demo and all the rest will help you get you started in terms of how we work as an external part of your security team, whether it's physical security, right? CSOs are a lot of our clients, a lot of our champions, or as part of the Chief Information Security Officer team, and it could be threat intel, it could be executive protection, whatever. But we want to be that relationship partner to you and your company and really help you improve that for your executives and their families. And I gotta emphasize that family part.
No,
We got to solve that, right?
Yeah.
We have to solve that.
They care about their families, I'm sure.
But
and it's a hard conversation too. I mean, you got a teenager.
they're different conversations, right? They have to be time appropriate, age appropriate, context appropriate. And what's great is we have the team actually tonight will be receiving an award for our customer success team. Back to the concierge.
Nice.
I mean, it's all within.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Well, it's our team. It's our team.
You and the
A
team.
wonderful. We have our
You do have a great.
wonderful chief experience officer, who you guys know, Ingrid Gliatone, who's spearheading things for us, and so we're super proud of her.
Awesome. The whole team is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Sean.
Well, this is cool.
think we're
I mean,
done?
every time we have a chat with you, Chris, it's enlightening and inspiring, and I think, I think folks recognize that there's this need.
Yep.
And it's an easy path to solving this need, working with you and the team. So
We're happy to help.
and it's all about trust and relationship, and I mean it comes back to the team. So that award says a lot.
It does.
It
It
does
does.
say a
But
lot.
it's about the team. It's about the relationship. It's about the trust, and we appreciate your guys' relationship over the many years.
Yeah, we love working with you. Love working
And there
with
will be more coming. We're ready to
Yes.
plan more conversations with you and the team, and there'll be more coming from RSA Conference as well. So
Absolutely.
we're going to be
Thanks
here.
thanks for listening, watching. Connect with blackcloak.io. Follow the rest of our coverage, itsbmagazine.com/RSAC25. And we'll see everybody else soon.
See ya.